After a couple of rainy days, the sun is out and shining. Currently in the last 100 kilometers of the Rhodope Mountains in general. Beauty is still here. I arrived in Krumovgrad yesterday after going through some villages, passing by some old fortresses along the way. That's just outside of Krumovgrad, the Lutitsa fortress. Yeah, the route here goes through some I would say more of a rural, like countryside areas with mostly dirt roads, some dirt roads, forest roads, the occasional trail here and there, and of course some asphalt. It's inevitable simply because the region here it's not well developed in hiking infrastructure, but wherever available we've made the connection. So explore, well, you'll be able to enjoy a nice leisurely hike here. I mean, there's still gonna be small up and downs, but the gradient it's very manageable. There is no technical terrain. I'm heading towards the town of Majarovo. That's a former mine town. But I don't think the mine is functioning anymore, and it's now actually a very popular place for bird watching. So any birders out there, ornithologists, you can definitely enjoy some new bird species to your list of what you've spotted. The trail marking that you just saw is it's the E8 trail marking. So again, one of the European long distance hiking trails in Bulgaria. We did follow it for a little bit in the central Rhodope Mountains near Smolen, and just before that around Trigrad. So joining it for the last kilometers of Rhodope Mountains, and the finish line is actually in Mezek. So I camped in a small village just between Majarovo and those two other villages, the Glavanak villages. Gorgeous views. Actually, on the way up there, you climb a little bit this kind of like a little ridge line, and you see down the valley of the town of Majarovo and all the rocks that surrounds it. It's like a nest. The whole valley looks like that. So gorgeous though, honestly. So apart from beautiful nature, there's a lot of history along the Balkan Green Belt, or the former Iron Curtain. So we just passed by the Gluhite Kameni Thracian Sanctuary monument. Translated, it's called the Death Rocks, and this comes out from, well, the reason behind it is because there is no echo around these rocks. They're not just not echoing. You can try it yourself. Basically, there's remains of old church and some supposedly some burial grounds. Oh, there's a deer. I don't know if you can see it from there, but just run down the hill there. There's one more. What a coincidence. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of mystery around this area because there is petroglyphs, and the archaeologists that have been researching the place mentioned that supposedly the cracks between all the rocks have been used to put urns with the ashes of deceased Thracians, some sort of a burial ground. But the place is very scenic, beautiful. You have an overview of the valley, the Krumovgrad Dam in the distance, and Shenovets Peak, which is the one we're heading towards. The trail doesn't climb up a bit, but it passes right by, so if anybody wants to climb it, you're more than welcome. I guess the scenic viewpoint, the TV tower of the local region, and yeah, then is the town of Mezek and the end of the Rhodope Mountains. I'm hiking down a beautiful forest road, quiet. It's kind of like a green tunnel. Here is some important information, guys. So since I left the village of Donji Glavanak towards the village of Mezek, those last kilometers of eastern Rhodopes can be bittersweet. Nice and easy, mostly flat hiking, but no water though. So between Donji Glavanak and Mezek are about 33 kilometers or something like that, and I've passed 3 water sources. All 3 were dry, unfortunately, so I guess the drought and climate change has hit the region severely. So yeah, make sure you plan your water carry carefully between those 2 points. I was lucky enough that it was a cool day. I actually got rained on as well, so not a lot of heat and sweating, but yeah, unfortunately the 3 water sources along the way were all dry. Side note, on the weekends after the Death Rocks, there are some merchants there selling different type of goods, including drinks, water and snacks, so you might get lucky and be able to rehydrate there and buy some water, but do not rely on that. Today's Friday. There were no tourists at the Death Rocks and no merchants down below. So maybe just Saturday and Sunday, maybe some bank holiday, but that's a pretty long shot. So some crucial information, guys, for this stretch. Hopefully for the future years it's not gonna be as dry, but nevertheless you gotta make sure that you are aware of this and plan your hiking accordingly. So after Mezek is the small mountain of Sakar, which is a gem in a valley because it just stands out in the middle of, well, of nothing out there. It's just the only mountain in the valley, and actually it stands at like 800 meters of elevation, so it's not too short though. Something like the Vršac mountain in Serbia. If you remember that from the first few episodes, when I was hiking through Serbia, after all the agricultural fields, I got to the town of Vršac and Vršac mountain. So Sakar, something similar, again, a biodiversity hotspot in the middle of a valley.